back live here on The Beat, 7:20. You know, I have to say, as I've said, and by the way, Tom Russell will be in with us, Step Up for Soldiers, at 8:30 this morning. People certainly know how I feel about Tom and all the volunteers at Step Up for Soldiers. We're working now with Concerned Veterans for America. We've worked with the Wounded Warrior program over the years in many programs. And I have to say, Brenda, what I've said before, and folks like you and others who are always there, I know that certainly you have a personal connection with your husband and beyond, but those who are there, who are truly there for our veterans each and every day, and those military families each and every day, you know, my hat's off to you, and thank God for all the work that you and others do, because we now see, you know, you can't depend on the federal government for that. No. And, you know, as George Washington told us, we're judged as a society and a people by how we take care of those who go to war and answer the call for us. And I really, hats off to you. I appreciate what you do. And I want you to explain to folks, because you come about it in a different way. It's interesting. Each one of these groups comes about their service to our veterans in the private sector from a different angle, and when you add it all up, it's like, you know, great. Bricks in a wall.
It is.
You know, it really is.
We all fit together.
So go ahead and talk. Again, folks, it's Warrior Family Ministries.
Well, like you said before, this is my passion. I come from it. Warrior Family Ministries comes from this at an angle of the spiritual and the emotional side of things. Our physicians have gotten really good with repairing and healing the physical needs that our warriors, have and experience. I feel like there's the additional part of healing of our spiritual side and our soul, which is your mind, your emotions, your mental capacity, but also from the standpoint of the family member. Our focus is a lot of times on that soldier, that military person. And we kind of take a seat back when it comes to the spouses and the moms and the dads and the kids. And so saving that family unit is my passion. It's letting them know that you can keep your family together. It's letting them know that you don't have to walk out the door when things get hot. There's a way to go about diffusing all of this, and there's healing. I'm definitely a faith-based person, as you can tell by the name of my of the nonprofit. And I believe that there is healing. I think there's healing for our military men and women. I believe there is peace and joy that they can find. I believe that families don't have to break up because they don't know how to deal with that person. You know, my family has lived through it. You know, my husband is a wonderful man, but, you know, he suffered a traumatic brain injury. He has PTSD, and it was hell for a few years trying to work through everything.
You know, in this country, we are still having, and we need to have, a debate about the draft versus a volunteer army. Put that aside here today. The volunteer army and the way things have evolved, if that's the right word to use, to me, there's all kinds of things that in the past we not have necessarily dealt with as a country. Of course, you have those that go into battle and are killed, and there's an effect on the folks back
Right.
home. There is the wounded warrior that comes home. But here we are with the job situation. I just was listening to Hannity the other day, and one of the soldiers was called up and for 26 weeks instead of 14, and a major employer fired him. Or it was handled on the law maybe, but you know, there's all kinds of issues. And then, you know, I hear a lot about the family, the young family. So that's an issue. I mean, it seems in my mind that in the days of the older wars, if you will, there was the single person that went to war. Today, there are fathers and mothers going to war, and there's families at home, not just mom and dad, brothers and sisters. No, there's actually kids and all that. There's a job back there,
right,
and all that. And how do you then, you know, and then coming back, and I've always said, Brenda, how do you take a person from a community like Wilmington, you know, little Wilmington, where the biggest thing you worry about is somebody put a fender bender, right? And then you drop them into the middle of, say, Afghanistan. One of the guys I used to work with at the national networks reporting said, you know, this is like going back 2,000 years.
It is.
You know, so it's like transporting somebody in space and time, and then you drop them back here.
Exactly.
And with different wounds, if they're wounded warrior, I mean, all these things are at play, and I think sometimes we forget that there's much more of a complexity today than there's been in the past.
There is. I believe that we were created with three parts: our physical, our spiritual, and our soul, which is your mind, emotions. And so if you heal one side of it, that physical side, you've got to take in context the other two, because to be whole again, all of it's got to be together. And so you take this person from little old Wilmington, who surfed every day and grew up around here and joined the military, and all of a sudden, after basic training, they're shipped off. And so now they're serving in Afghanistan, for instance. So he's there for 12, 15 months. He comes back. We plop him right back into society. Now, there are little checkpoints and little things they go through to help them acclimate back in. Reintegration is our new word, and but then they're put back into a home life. The paranoia, the not being able to go into a crowded restaurant. I can remember coming home to visit after one of Jay's deployments, sitting on the beach for the first time in a year, visiting family, and one of the jets came overhead, and my husband dove under the beach chair. Just a reaction. So trying to get used to all of this, trying to live through it is just huge. We have 22 suicides a day among the military.
Yeah, I know, it's terrible, the suicides and things like that. I have to say, though, Warrior Family Ministries is your nonprofit. I have to say that I believe, not because of how I feel about government, as far as politics and things like that I'm a critic of. I think the private sector is better set to do this than the private sector,
exactly,
than government. If you need to have care, and that's what's so sad about the VA situation, yes, you should be able to go to a hospital. You've seen that
exactly.
Everything we promise should be fulfilled, and you should get the top-notch quality care in America.
Yes.
Period. No questions asked. And then on the other side of it, though, I think it's as I feel, it's faith-based too. I think that's the best place for the rest of it.
Well, we offer Christian counseling. We offer prayer ministry. We do programs for kids and for teens. We do programs for the spouses and the parents. All of that is encompassed, again, to save that family.
Now, are you working with the family here at home while someone's deployed, as well as when they come back?
It doesn't matter. The family is the family.
The whole experience.
Family, the whole experience. You've got to understand that family also means, sometimes it's the sisters and the brothers and the moms and the dad. It's not just the spouse and the kids. And so to be able to provide a service that says, let's educate you so you know how to think like they think when they come back, so that'll help diffuse a situation. To have that parent who comes to me and says, what do I do with my son or daughter? They can't hold a relationship. They can't hold a job. They're frustrated all the time. I don't know how to help them.
And you can also not just, help them within your group. You are also counseling them on how they can connect to services as well?
Exactly. We have resources that we point them to, but it's not just come here and let you feel good for a brief time and then send you back out. When you go back out, we're going to provide a place back home so that they kind of take you under their wing and keep you going as a family unit. It's not a one-stop feel-good place. It is an ongoing relationship.
How can people get involved, connect with you to get involved?
Well, we have 3 basic needs. We need volunteers. We need some financial support, as always. That helps a lot to cover the cost of things, and to provide those services to keep the family together. Call me at 599-7651, area code's 910, or warriorfamilyministries.org is our website.
warriorfamilyministries.org. Or as always, folks, if you get tangled up and you can't connect, just send me an email and I'll get you on to Brenda and her volunteers at Warrior Family Ministries. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
We'll be right back, folks. Coming up, Dr. Craig Galbraith is in Indiana. We're going to find out why, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about his experience out there and what they're talking about on the Economic Times, and then on to George Rage. Stay with us. Lots more to talk about here on The Beat.